Yo guys, what's going on? Robert Warshack here, and we have some juicy news. No nudes yet. First look at Hearthstone's new class sets. We're leaving behind the old mini set route. I don't really know how to feel about this as we haven't actually got to play with these cards yet, so it's going to be hard to say if this is going to be a hit or not. I'm a little skeptical, but as we know, the mini sets would release and it would have a bunch of different cards for a bunch of different classes, and everything got something. Sometimes it would work, sometimes it wasn't. There's mini sets that you would ask to be like, whoa, didn't new cards come out? And like some classes just had unplayable mini sets, right? Like there's just not there was nothing to do with the new stuff because it really wasn't enough cards to make an impact. So basically what these class sets are is they're going to release more cards for only particular classes. This time it's going to be Druid, Hunter, Paladin, and Mage. Just because Paladin isn't strong enough, they're going to get some new cards. And I'll go into like, after everything, go into like my wrap up of what I think will happen or why. I get the idea of releasing more for classes and then like it'll give a bigger impact to them and stuff will actually change, which is, I think the reason they're doing this. So earlier this year, we teased something new that was in the works, the class sets, starting with the patch 3.35.4. Mini sets will be taking a break, and in their place, we're reducing class sets. We love how mini sets shake things up between Meta expansions, but this felt like a perfect opportunity to try a different kind of innovation. What is a class set? A class set is a focused release of new cards for a single class. For class sets are released at a time with 3 waves planned throughout the year. So again, we're going to get, just like how we've had 3 mini sets, we'll get 3 class sets, each class set 4 classes inside of it. Class sets focus on fewer classes at once, so each one gets a larger, more impactful set of cards. So like we had mentioned, like, they release a mini set, Mage gets 5 cards and they don't fit into any Mage archetype. I don't think that's a mini set problem. I think that's, I don't want to say bad design, but if you're making cards and they get introduced in the game and they're unplayable, that's not a mini set problem. That you just gave it useless cards. Make the cards better, right? It just a very weird approach to solve a problem that the problem in itself isn't the way it's done, it's what is being done and like what's inside of it, right? Maybe I'm looking at it the wrong way. Each of these classes will be receiving a tailored set of cards designed to dial up the class fantasy, support new or existing archetypes, and give you plenty of room to experiment and get deck building, which is every time, like, obviously it's the whole point of the game is to introduce cards for new decks, new strategies, new archetypes, and all that kind of stuff. Why we're trying class sets: the chain comes with a few clear goals, so stronger class moments. Focusing on fewer classes lets us give each distinct gameplay and identity, making them shine more than before. Yeah, I mean, if you give a class 5 cards or you give a class 10 cards, 10 cards will have more impact than 5. But then again, I would say at one point we're almost like focusing in on a meta of just like, okay, so Paladin's getting this huge influx of cards, so everybody's just gonna play Paladin, right? But in this case it'll be 4 classes, and the other ones I guess just feel bad. So if you're like a warrior player, instead of getting warrior cards every couple months in a mini set, you have to wait once a year to get a class set for warrior. Seems weird. More noticeable meta shifts. Concentrated releases bring clearer day one changes. You'll see what's new and how the landscapes shift right away. I mean, yeah, everybody's just going to play those 4 classes. More impactful updates throughout the year. Different classes will rotate into the spotlight, keeping the meta dynamic without changing everything at once. I mean, yeah, I can see that. Like, if Paladin is like the deck to play for 4 months and then, they give Demon Hunter something insane, then everybody switches to Demon Hunter. But that's no different than a meta we have now where everybody, I wouldn't say everybody, you guys don't, but the majority of players in Hearthstone just gravitate to whatever the best 1, 2, maybe 3 best decks are, regardless if those decks got new cards. I'm sure you've seen this before. Day 1 of a new expansion, even a full week after new expansion, there are players just simply playing with no new cards because there's no new decks that have the new cards that are the best. They'll just play whatever the previous best deck was with no new cards until a new deck pops up that maybe has new cards in it, and then 90% of players rotate to that. So like, I understand their ideology of what they're trying to do, but that's not what the players do, and the players are the ones playing your game, right? So it just seems weird to me that there's like a very different alignment on like what they're trying to do and how players actually play their game, which comes down to do these people play the game? I'm sure they do, but sometimes it feels as if the people designing the game don't actually play the game. But I am absolutely sure that's not the case. The people working on Hearthstone, I'm sure, absolutely love Hearthstone. If your favorite class is not part of the initial lineup, we know that can be a bummer, but this approach lets each class shine brighter when its turn comes, and yours will have its moment later this year. No one wants to wait 6 months to get cards for their class. I'm just gonna be honest. No one wants that. All right, so we'll preview some of the cards. Let's take a closer look at the 4 classes kicking things off. Each class set delivers a full package of 7 new cards, which honestly doesn't really feel like a lot. Maybe I'm crazy, but like the mini set was like, what, 5 cards each class or something? So this is 2 more cards? Like, I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Someone in the comments, please maybe get me in line, but that just seems weird. It feels like we're just totally getting less cards. If we're only getting 7 for Druid the entire year, keep in mind, like, so like this Druid class set comes out, and then Druid will not be getting any more cards unless it's an expansion, which only comes every 4 months. So this will be basically the last amount of cards Druid gets, which I don't know. It just seems weird. Anyway, let's look at the card itself. 7 mana, 4/4, Battlecry, get 3 2/2 treants, carve 12 mana worth of nature spells into them, and then it's like a 1 mana, cast another card. Okay. The Druid class set is built for a longer game, mixing spells and minions with powerful delayed payoffs. For example, Wizen Windspeaker rewards you for skipping a minion play, letting you invest a turn for bigger swing later. As the game goes long, other cards cash in that setup with massive value, turning. I mean, it's random. Like, we don't know what they're going to be, right? But I like that they're treants, and it'll add maybe some treant synergy. But yeah, a 7 mana 4/4, do nothing, and then the effect out of them is random. Seems pretty bad to me. I guess in Ramp Druid, getting to 7 mana is not a big deal, and then you can get like some insane effects. But the fact that you're paying for something, you're getting nothing, and then the outcome is random, and it's inside a body. While the body is a treant, that doesn't, like, maybe it's cool, but it doesn't particularly make me think of greatness. And then we have the Windspeaker 5 mana 3/7 taunt Battlecry. If you didn't play a minion last turn, refresh 3 mana crystal. So that's a 2 mana 3/7 with taunt. And in the early stages of Druid, playing minions isn't like a huge thing they do, right? They play like Acceleration Aura. They may play like Felwood Treant, which, by the way, that card's insane. I definitely could possibly see this. I mean, anything that cheats mana in general, right, is going to be pretty powerful, especially when you're spending 2 mana to get like a 3/7 with taunt pretty early in the game. So it's going to see play at some point for sure, because it's just a 2 mana 3/7. That's, you know, it's not a 4 mana 6/8 with elusive, but you know, it's something. That's something, all right. Hunter class set. Hunters help Azeroth recover by protecting creatures displaced by the cataclysm and forming new bonds with them. That's cute. What do we have here? We have a 5 mana 4/6 Battlecry. Your cards that summon animal companions summon 1 more this game. Okay. That seems really good, especially because animal companion summoning is, I mean, we saw that for quite some time, right? So like, instead of 1 Huffer for 3 mana, they get 2 Huffers for 3 mana. That seems pretty good. Hunter's class set revolves around upgrading your animal companions over the course of the game. Tame Pet helps you search for bigger beasts and turn them into companions, letting you call upon them as the game progresses. With these new cards, Hunter can continually improve their beasts, scaling them into larger threats as you find new options. There's a few cards that synergize with the Earth Strider, of course. Hunter right now is really just Face Hunter, I think. There's Dragon Hunter, but that seemed to fail a bit. I'm still working on one, by the way. We actually played a Dragon Hunter in the last stream. So, I mean, it's well statted, and the effect is very powerful, especially if it comes out early. So, definitely doesn't look like a terrible card, right? But 5 mana, 4/6, and a Hunter. Face Hunter just wins on turn like 4 or 5. So, it doesn't fit into a current Hunter, but it definitely could fit one into the future. And then we have Tame Pet, which was the other one they talked about. Replace your future animal companions with a random beast that costs 1 more, and then you draw a card. Okay, so I get what they're saying now. So you normally the animal companions cost 3 mana, right? So we're replacing them to a random 4 mana card or a random 5 mana card. And then it would summon 2 of them, with the other thing. Is that better than just like, because we know Misha's a 4/4 with taunt, that's good. Leok is just a 2/4, which gives everything plus attack is great. And then Huffer is insane, right? Like the whole point of the Hunter deck is to kill your opponent, and all like Misha doesn't really help too much, but like Leok and Huffer are just very, very good. Like left unchecked, obviously the Hunter probably wins. So I don't know if like, and then obviously with Tame Pet, you can only run 2 of them. So I mean, I guess you could discover more. I guess. I don't know. It's an interesting take on Hunter. And every time they've tried to do some sort of like control Hunter, it never really works, right? We have a face Hunter, we have mid-range Hunter, and then we've had like big beast. But the reason you get big beast is you scam something out and then you summon giant beast very, very early, right? So we've never really seen a control Hunter, I would say. I don't really know. I think Tame Pet actually just makes it worse, but maybe there's really great 4 and 5 drop random beasts. But in my head, I just want the original animal companions, right? They're really, really good. But I guess like they added the summon all the 7 mana card, right? And it summons, all 3 of them. So this would actually summon 6 beasts, 6 4 mana beasts on turn 7. So maybe it is really good. I wouldn't say that this particular card is going to be what makes it good. I think it's this one, right? The Earth Strider, but it would be a damn shame that we see Earth Strider see play, right? And then like the card that's supposed to work with it doesn't, because like you just want Huffer and Leox. But I think that might be the route it goes. Paladin class set. Also, before we get too deep in this, I did make a poll just a few minutes ago on let me refresh. I think a lot of people are voting. Yeah, we got 27 votes already. I just have it as changing our previous mini set to the new class change, going to make better or worse for the game. So pretty even so far, actually. I didn't know it's some pretty mixed feelings. But after watching this video, hopefully you guys give some of your opinions on there, and feel free to leave a comment or two just to extend on that, because this is a pretty big change for Hearthstone. And if it works, that'll be great, and it'll make Hearthstone feel pretty fresh. And mini sets have been around a long time. I wasn't essentially saying they shouldn't change mini sets to something else, but what the change is, it doesn't make me just go, oh yeah, that's a brilliant idea, like of course let's do that, right? It's more of like, that is something you can do, and there are like obviously glaring issues with it, like right off the bat, which when an idea is that good, like if you had one, then it would be really hard to like, you shouldn't be able to spend 2 or 3 minutes and have like a list of 5 points that aren't particularly great about it. Anyway, Paladin cards. 5 mana, 5/6, Battle Cry, double the stats of all friendly Silverhand recruits, and give them taunt. So generally, if a Paladin already has an entire board of Silverhand recruits, they probably have won the game. The Silverhand recruits are, let's say they're 2/2, they go to 4/4. I think you would just, again, I don't see where this fits. Right now, Paladin has a 3 mana, summon 2 5/3s, and give everything +1/1 in Divine Shield. I guess they're 4/2s, but the effect of it makes them 5/3s. But anyway, yeah, as long as the Shatter card for Paladin exists, you'll never play this card. And we've also, like, the Silverhand recruits and like that being a thing has been a thing for quite some time. And we've had Silverhand recruit Paladin multiple metas across multiple different years. So as much as I don't like Paladin personally, the way it's built, the way it plays, with the deck, the way that like just the design of the decks and the cards, same thing with Priest. This doesn't, we do something else, dude. Like Silverhand recruits, like I get it's the hero power and stuff, and that's cool, but this isn't particularly new. This is like essentially a quartermaster, I guess. I don't know. Maybe that's what Paladins want, another quartermaster. The Paladin class set focus on is empowering Silverhand recruits and turning small boards into big armies. Embodying the Blade helps you recruit into threats. Use cards like Muster for Battle to quickly fill the board, and then drop the Redeemer to push your enemy even further. 5 mana, 3/2, Battlecry, give your Silverhand recruits +1/+1 this game. Okay, so that's obviously very good. It reminds me of the other weapon that they had where it was like give all minions on your board +1/+1, and it was a 4/3, right? This is a 3/2, only 2 charges, but it does give the Silverhand recruits like +2/+2 the entire game, which is quite powerful if you like swung twice with this and they're 3/3s, and then you play the 5 mana card and then you turn them into 6/6s with taunt. It doesn't give them divine shield, which is kind of a big deal for most classes to deal with right now, because divine shield, you have to pop it. There's a lot of divine shield synergy, and it's what makes it really powerful, right? Because single hand like decimation doesn't kill everything. Stuff like brawl would, rip brawl. But yeah, I mean, definitely fits into a slower style of deck. We also have Gen right now, which can upgrade the hero power, so actually could be pretty good. I mean, if you swing twice with this, you have a 1 mana summon a 3/3 every turn. That's pretty powerful, right? Like that. Yeah, I mean, between these two cards, I guess they work. But again, Silverhand recruits, man, like cool, I guess. I think I've seen a little bit of the mage stuff. It actually looks kind of neat. It reminds me of relics for Demon Hunter, and I really enjoyed Relic Demon Hunter, truly. So mage class set, mages work to restore by shattering whatever something. 4 mana, deal 4 damage to a random enemy minion. XX damage hits the enemy hero. 6 mana, summon a random 6 cost minion. And then the 2 mana, draw a card. It costs 1 less. The mage set centers around these ley lines. Powerful spells that can be upgraded over the course of the game. There are 3 spells and new cards that will let you enhance them by increasing their power, reducing their cost, or making them trigger additional times. This creates a flexible spell package that rewards smart sequencing and long-term planning. So we have the 7 mana legendary spell here, which is get all the ley lines, choose an upgrade for them, and then again, it's triggered twice, they cost 2 less, or increase the effect by them by 2, which I'm assuming, like, you know, give them 2 spell power. So that seems kind of cool. Like I'm down for that. They're also arcane spells, right? So because they're arcane spells, you can you know, there's that dragon that we had that's, you know, has been terrible. They've never buffed him, and there's no deck that's ever had him in there that's been good. But you know, maybe we can do some shenanigans with arcane spells with that guy and proc these twice and really get some insane effects, right? So far the mage one definitely sparks my interest the most. Then how to acquire class sets? Well, you buy them with money. Each class set delivers 7 new cards, 1 legendary, 2 epics, 2 rares, 2 commons, with full play sets of epics, rares, commons. That's 13 cards per class, 52 cards total. I mean, it's 7 times 4, it's 28. But yeah, if you want to like multiply because there's 2 copies, then sure, you can make it sound way more cards than what it is. So 1200 gold. Wait, is this individual? Oh, individual, it's 1200 gold. But if you buy all of them, includes all 4 classes, 2 copies of spirit, and then the hero skin for 2500 gold. Mini sets usually cost like 2000 gold, right? Besides the Great Dark Beyond, which was, by the way, I think they just, while Great Dark Beyond was insanely powerful and it just like made the game insane, it was kind of fun. I'm not gonna lie. It made, like, the mini set was so good, it felt like an expansion. And you know why? Because the cards did something. Every deck got something, and then like there were multiple ways to play each deck. You know what I mean? And instead of like doing whatever this is, if we just make stuff like the Great Dark Beyond, cards be important, cards be powerful. Granted, Colossus Mage did get annoying, right? But we can tweak that stuff, right? We can change it. Not that it ever did, but we could, right? So more gold for essentially, I don't know, maybe it's less cards. I don't know. It's just things costing more gold for what we used to pay 2000 for. May not be like a big deal, but that's a 25% increase. And I don't feel like I'm getting anything more because we're really just not. Like, this isn't the Great Dark Beyond level shit. This is 7 cards for 4 classes. So that just seems very pricey to me. And then the golden copy, and it's 80 bucks and 1200 gold. I can promise you, generally, also, they changed this so when you do buy the class sets, it offers the golden one first. I don't know if they'll ever change that, but just make sure you guys, when you do buy this, if you buy it, make sure you go to the normal one and don't buy the golden one, unless you want to, of course. But yeah, when they first induced that change, I was like, wait, you can only buy this in golden? And it took me a minute or two to be like, yo, okay, there is a normal one for me to buy. Okay, cool. And then when do class sets release? It is going live May 5th, 1 p.m. EST. And then we have, yes, your eyes are not deceiving you. There are 11 classes in Hearthstone and yet 12 class sets. That's because one class is getting a second set. Go ahead, start guessing. I don't think we're going to see Monk this year. Maybe we do. There's been some hints at it. So at the end of the year, maybe towards BlizzCon, they announce Monk or some new class. Monk would be, I don't know. How about we need to balance the classes and get the things rolling of what we currently have. But if we have the resources for a new class and that hits, that could be big. That could be big. It would definitely make a lot of people happy. I, for one, would probably not like to see Monk. I would prefer the new Dragon class. I tend to not play any monks in any of the games that I play. Never to this day have played a monk, and WoW, it just does not seem intriguing to me. However, I have played every other class besides Paladin. So yeah, hopefully they do the Dragon one and not monk, but we'll see what happens there. But yeah, that's it. That's all the news. We got May 5th is the date. Of course, I will be streaming on Twitch and probably YouTube May 5th and trying out all the new stuff. Hopefully this lands well and everything is well received and it actually feels like a big spring forward. But I will always have a salt of skepticism when it comes to stuff like this because I've been disappointed too many times by too many games to like get as excited about new stuff anymore. Battle hardened veteran over here. I'm just jaded. Over the years I've been beat down. But you know, I truly am excited for anything that shakes up Hearthstone meta and allows, you know, new deck building, new decks to pop up, because that's what's fun, right? Building new stuff with new things and defeating people with terrible cards. That's the way of the Rob. So with that, let me know what you guys think. Fill out the community post, leave a comment, let me know. It's always good to hear from you guys, and I'll catch you in the next video, of course. I'm Robert Warshack, and happy whatever the hell day it is.
How do I know when my spicy off-meta deck is cooking, or it's straight garbage? Hearthstone Deck Tracker gives me all the data I need to be able to find, track, create, and play with the worst possible decks I can to Legend each and every month. From matchup spreads to historical data, I can see where my off-meta decks stand in any meta. Features such as mulligan guides, remaining cards, and turn counters provide information which helps you make the best decision each turn. So if you want to be better than me, go on in the description below, hsreplay.net, give it a free download.
Isn't that right, bud? You're a good boy. You downloaded FH Replay, didn't you?